U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is back in the Middle East in a renewed push to secure a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. The end of hostilities would be carried out in 3 phases, explains national security professor at the University of New Haven, Howard Stauffer.
The first phase would be the withdrawal of Israeli troops from key areas in Gaza, the cessation of hostilities, and then there would be an exchange of some of the hostages, the living hostages, women, elderly, and wounded, and there would be some designated Palestinian prisoners who would be returned to Hamas.
The implementation could prove tricky, Stauffer notes.
There may be differences of opinion about who may be released, and the withdrawal process, even from Gaza, is complicated because Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has said that they want a restriction on armed individuals in southern Gaza from going into northern Gaza.
Blinken's visit comes amid heightened tensions. Iran could still avenge the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh last month in Tehran. Successful peace talks could calm the mood.
Then there's a very strong likelihood that Hezbollah on its own, or Iran and Hezbollah, will carry out their retaliatory strikes against Israel. If they do that, there will be a much greater widening of the war in the entire region.
The end of the hostilities would ensure the distribution of humanitarian aid in Gaza and allow for mass vaccinations against the rising threat of polio. The Palestinian health minister confirmed the first case Saturday. Some Palestinian mothers worry.
We need a vaccine for it. We need medicine. We need proper sanitation. We want you to save us before it's too late. Or how long are we supposed to wait? Should we wait until we watch our children die and become paralyzed and then become helpless to do anything for them?
In Israel, relatives of the hostages held by Hamas express cautious optimism about the prospects of a ceasefire and the release of their loved ones.
We learned from past experience that not to build the expectation too much, because then if it doesn't complete to a deal, the disappointment is so huge and you go down so far that it's very hard to rise up again. But we still try to stay optimistic and hope.
Even as the ceasefire negotiations mediated by the U.S., Qatar and Egypt are set to reconvene in Cairo this week, Israeli military operations haven't ceased. On Sunday, Palestinian authorities reported at least 28 people were killed in overnight strikes across Gaza. The Israeli military said it killed 20 militants in attacks Saturday night into Sunday. On the eve of his expected meeting with Blinken, Benjamin Netanyahu led a weekly cabinet meeting Sunday in which he criticized Hamas's approach to the peace talks and reiterated his stance that, quote, strong military and diplomatic pressure are the way to secure the release of the Israeli hostages. Veronica, Balderas, Iglesias, VOA News.